Today's featured spiced rum is this. This is Pink Pigeon Original, and it comes all the way, not from the Caribbean, from Mauritius. A lot of people get mixed up about this rum. This is Pink Pigeon Original. Original is the vanilla spiced rum flavour. There is no kind of original rum. Their original is vanilla. And as I say, Mauritius, not kind of well known for their rum making exports. So if you don't know where Mauritius is, think off the coast of East Africa. I was going to say East Anglia then, that's where I am. Off the coast of East Africa, you've got Madagascar. Everyone loves Madagascar for the films. And then just the next island, the tiny little minuscule island past Madagascar, is Mauritius. Now this is another proper full strength rum. It's a 40%, or spiced rum I should say. Sorry, I know the rum aficionados are going to go, it's a spiced rum. Yes, it's a spiced rum, we don't care. 40%, so a lot stronger than the sort of 35s and all those sort of spirit-based drinks that we're getting. As I say, Mauritius, I'm going to read the back of this. Named after the world's rarest bird, Pink Pigeon is a single estate vanilla spiced rum from the island of Mauritius, infused with hand-picked natural bourbon vanilla that grows in the wild forest of the Reunion and Madagascar, plus the refreshing zest of local orange peel and floral orchid petals. Rich and golden, our rum is complex in flavour yet easy to drink, with its creamy vanilla balanced by sweet notes of white chocolate and citrus. How amazing does that sound? It's been a long time since I've cracked a bottle of this. Completely and utterly forgotten what it tastes like. I've had so many rums since this. We're talking well over a couple of years since I've had this, so I can't wait to crack it. If you want to grab a bottle for yourself, it's kind of a little bit more expensive than some of the spiced rums have been featured on here. You should be able to pick a bottle up for about £25. If you're in the trade, you will get it slightly cheaper than that. Is it worth it? Let's find out. So I'm intrigued by the wording on the back here. Complex, where's it gone? Our rum is complex in flavour yet easy to drink. So I'm really intrigued by this. Should be out and out vanilla, we hope, because it's a vanilla spiced rum. The other kind of vanilla spiced rums that I would go for are things like Old J, although it's kind of lime and vanilla. That's kind of a direct comparison, maybe or maybe not. We shall see. That's custard. Wow, that is definitely 100% vanilla on the nose. Smells really, really sweet as well on the nose. I'm not getting too much in the way of spice at the moment, but what that does remind me of is kind of that, I love the kind of Demerara rums, that sort of molasses kind of, a Muscovado, that's kind of the smell that I'm getting off there. Out of a shadow of a doubt, vanilla all the way. Custard. That's what it is. It is just liquid rum custard. Right, let's pop a little bit in the glass and let's have a little taste. There we go. Healthy glug in there. Put that back on. Right. Does the smells open out any more in the glass? Give it a bit of air. Actually, they do. Actually, the vanilla kind of dies off a little bit in the glass, and the aromas, I'm getting a little bit of spice. I think I can pick out a little bit of sort of cinnamon maybe, or cloves, something like that. There's vanilla there, definitely, but not as pungent as it was coming out straight out the bottle. Right, ice cube. Ice cube, give it a swirl. Let's get a little tiny bit of dilution going in there, and a little bit of chill. It's how I like to drink my spiced rums. I'm sorry if it's wrong, but I just like it with a bit of ice, bit of chill. Right, let's see what happens. Wow, that is a very clever spiced rum, because, and it's open again, I just want to re-smell it. Yeah, the amount of vanilla that hits you off there, and the sweetness, actually doesn't transfer onto the taste. Vanilla, without a shadow of a doubt, is there. But I'm expecting it to be a real sweet spiced rum. And the reason why I say it's very clever, because on the first taste, I get the vanilla. I get lots of spices, maybe a little bit of nutmeg. There's some sort of tropical fruity thing going on there. I can't really pick it. It might be something like, I don't know, it might be something like papaya, it might be guava, I don't know, but it's some sort of real tropical fruit going on there. And then that kind of finishes out with a little bit of spice, the vanilla, but then a subtle, real hint of toffee. And it's a real kind, I get what they mean by complex on the bottle now, because you get all those flavours. However, as it's going down, all those flavours kind of disappear, and what you're left with was a real kind of sweeter, vanilla flavoured rum. That's really, really weird, because first taste for me is actually quite dry, it dries your mouth out, but as it goes down, as it lingers, a real kind of sweet vanilla. I really, really like that. I'm not even going to compare it to Old J, and that's not even saying that Old J is a bad spiced rum, because I kind of like Old J. But if you're looking for a sweet, out and out sweet sort of rum, then Old J is your market, and Dead Man's Fingers and things like that. However, if you're looking for kind of a rum with a bit more, a spiced rum with a bit more character, a bit more flavour, and that subtle hint of vanilla, that's perhaps not as sweet, that is absolutely amazing. Love that. And as I tell you, as that's chilled down even more, because it's been in there with the ice for a little bit now, all those flavours kind of real sort of mellow out, and all rounded. I've just noticed on the finish as well, I kind of get a little bit of, I'm not sure, but I kind of like a little oaky flavour going on. And maybe the way it's been aged or rested in barrels, I'm not sure. I could quite happily sip that neat. I really, really like that. That is cracking. Not as sweet as I was expecting. I have had it before, but it was a lot of years ago. Absolutely amazing. Really, really love that. Right, what I'm going to do now, as I've done with most of my videos, I've got all my kind of little tasters ready to go over there. We've got everything. We've got all these ready to go, and the Cokes, and a couple of little cocktails as well, sort of pre-mixed, just ready to go over there. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to try it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you what my favourite mixes were. I'm back. I'm not going to lie. Can we see that? I've had quite a good play with that. What I found with that, because that isn't as sweet as the Old J's and the Dead Man Fingers and those kind of rums, that is an exceptional rum to play about with and mix. And I've got a couple of cracking cocktails for you, and one out and out favourite, highball simple serve, but the rest, there wasn't one that I disliked. It just worked exceptionally well. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to run you through. I'm going to start off with kind of my little, it's been my favourite for a lot of time, a year, 18 months or so. Schweppes Muscovado Dark Spirit Mixer. The kind of Muscovado sugary molasses demerara kind of flavour going on there. With that, absolutely superb. Just worked a treat. Really, really like that. If you want something fun and fruity, I've got these two. This is Tango Tropical. Yeah, I promise you, Tango Tropical, and you still get that kind of, because it's 40% and because it's that rum, you still get that coming through, and that was absolutely lovely and amazing. Rubicon Passion Fruit. I actually forgot to try it with the mango. I think that probably worked quite well with the mango as well, but I did the passion fruit. They were absolutely lovely as well. Simple highballs. You cannot go wrong with that. Where are we now? I still haven't got any Fever Tree ginger beer. I forgot to get some. But D&G, Old Jamaica ginger beer. I actually think, because that worked so well, because that is slightly sweeter, I think that is going to be better anyway than Fever Trees, because Fever Tree is a little bit dry, a little bit more fiery. Those two, as a rum and ginger beer with that hint of vanilla coming through it, amazing. Really, really like that. So I've got a sneaky suspicion that even though I haven't got Fever Trees ginger beer, I think that was going to work really, really well. And ginger ales I have got. We've got, I did try it with that. I preferred that The orange, it was lovely. I'm really, really loving this spiced orange ginger ale at the moment from Fever Tree. Absolutely loving it. I actually preferred the plain with that. I think the vanilla and the orange, not brilliant, not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but I just preferred the sort of normal kind of ginger ale with that. Cocktail wise, mojito, a vanilla mojito. Caveat, normally I use just normal kind of sugar syrup with that. I did make the mojito with Demerara sugar syrup, and that was absolutely amazing. But just absolutely banging was an espresso martini with that. Just very, very simple. Pink Pigeon, the vanilla spiced rum with Kahlua, tiny, tiny, tiny hint of sugar syrup, just because the rum isn't that sweet. It's kind of, well, not that sweet in the grand scheme of things. A tiny bit of sugar and just a bit of espresso. That was amazing. That could be absolutely phenomenal to stick that on as a espresso martinis instead of vodka, because vanilla and coffee just worked exceptionally well. However, I haven't featured it yet. You're probably guessing it if you're a regular watching this. Do you know what? Quite simply, that vanilla spiced rum, normal Coke, this is Coke Zero, you cannot go wrong. Just work, simple. And I'm thinking, the reason why I think this is I'm thinking for all you guys at home that can't really be asked to go to anything too complicated, for pubs and bars that are just going to want simple, very quick serves, it just works. For me, slightly, ever so slightly better than the Muscovado. Not much. I would give that, as a finished drink, I would give that a 9 out of 10, and that probably an 8 out of 10. So not too much in it, but I just think that was a perfect marriage. Absolutely brilliant.